Imagine being told you'd never walk again, let alone work. Now imagine responding by becoming the first female aircraft designer in history and helping win World War II. This is the story of Elsie MacGill, the queen of the Hurricanes. A woman who didn't just break the glass ceiling, she soared right through it. In 1940, as Nazi forces dominated Europe's skies, it was a paralyzed woman in Canada who would help turn the tide of war, one Hurricane fighter plane at a time. Born in 1905 in Vancouver, Elsie MacGill came from a family of firsts. Her mother was British Columbia's first female judge. But Elsie had her sights set on something completely different: the emerging world of engineering. At a time when women were expected to stay home, she enrolled at the University of Toronto in 1923, becoming the first Canadian woman to earn an electrical engineering degree. But Elsie wasn't done. She set her sights on the skies, pursuing aeronautical engineering at the University of Michigan. The audacity of it all. A woman designing aircraft. The male-dominated industry scoffed. But Elsie wasn't just any engineer. She was about to become the world's first female aircraft designer. And yet, fate had other plans. Just as she was completing her master's degree, disaster struck. In 1929, Elsie was diagnosed with polio. The disease left her paralyzed from the waist down. Doctors told her she would never walk again, let alone work in the demanding field of engineering. They didn't know Elsie MacGill. Confined to a hospital bed, Elsie refused to accept the doctor's verdict. She spent countless hours in rehabilitation, studying engineering textbooks propped up on her hospital bed, designing aircraft components in her mind, while she fought to regain movement in her legs. The world outside was changing rapidly. The Great Depression had hit, and jobs were scarce, especially for women in engineering. But Elsie's determination was unyielding. Through sheer willpower and grueling physical therapy, she gradually learned to walk again, though she would need a cane for the rest of her life. But her biggest challenge was yet to come. The engineering world of the 1930s was not ready for a woman, much less one with a disability. Job applications were rejected, opportunities denied. Some companies wouldn't even grant her an interview when they realized MacGill was a woman. She faced constant skepticism about her capabilities, with male colleagues openly questioning whether a woman could handle the complex calculations and physical demands of aircraft design. But every rejection only fueled her determination. In 1938, Canada's Cancar Aircraft Limited made a decision that would change history. They hired Elsie as their chief aeronautical engineer. As war clouds gathered over Europe, she was thrust into one of the most crucial roles in the Allied war effort, producing the Hawker Hurricane fighter planes that would become crucial in the Battle of Britain. Under her leadership, Cancar's production line went from manufacturing a mere handful of aircraft to churning out more than 400 Hurricane fighters per month. Elsie revolutionized aircraft production methods, developing innovative cold-weather starting systems that allowed the Hurricanes to operate in Canada's harsh winter conditions. She personally flew in every type of aircraft she worked on. Yes, flew them herself, to better understand their capabilities and needed improvements. When materials became scarce due to wartime shortages, she engineered creative solutions, developing new processes that would influence aircraft manufacturing for decades to come. Her facility was the first to build Hurricane fighters outside of Britain, and her modifications made them more effective in combat. The Queen of the Hurricanes nickname wasn't just a cute title, it was earned through technical brilliance and unrelenting determination. She even wrote a complete guide to aircraft production during this period, which became the go-to manual for aircraft manufacturers across North America. Under her watch, Can Car produced over 1,400 Hurricane fighters, making it one of the most successful aircraft production facilities in Canada. Despite her crucial contributions to the Allied victory, Elsie MacGill's story faded into obscurity after the war. As men returned home, women were expected to step back from their wartime roles. The aviation industry, which had briefly opened its doors to women out of necessity, began closing them again. Elsie's achievements were downplayed, her innovations attributed to male colleagues. Her story reduced to a wartime anomaly rather than recognized as the groundbreaking achievement it was. When she spoke up about women's rights in engineering and advocated for equal opportunities, she was labeled as difficult and controversial. The same determination that had made her a wartime hero now made her an uncomfortable reminder of women's capabilities in traditionally male fields. By the 1950s, her name had largely disappeared from engineering textbooks and historical accounts of wartime production. The woman who had helped win the war through engineering excellence was relegated to footnotes and forgotten anniversaries. But here's why Elsie MacGill's story matters more than ever today. She didn't just design aircraft. She redesigned expectations. Every woman in STEM today stands on the shoulders of pioneers like Elsie, who proved that innovation knows no gender. Her story isn't just about engineering. It's about refusing to accept limitations, whether imposed by disability, society, or convention. The Hurricanes she helped build played a crucial role in winning the Battle of Britain. But her greatest victory was proving that determination and intelligence matter more than gender or physical limitations. Today, when we talk about breaking barriers in STEM fields, about overcoming disabilities, about rising to meet global challenges, we're talking about the path Elsie MacGill blazed. She showed that the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning. In 2016, she was finally nominated as one of the candidates to be featured on Canadian currency. But there's something more valuable than having your face on a bill. Having your story inspire generations to come. So the next time someone says women don't belong in engineering, or that disabilities define what you can achieve, remember the Queen of the Hurricanes. Remember Elsie MacGill, the woman who wouldn't take no for an answer, who turned personal tragedy into triumph, and who helped save the world, one hurricane fighter at a time.